have a conversation. Hey, yo, let's chop it up, man. Hey, yo, let's have a conversation. Hey, yo, may I interject? It's about time for communal reconnect. Power of the we in some type of context. Working on the us so we can hit up what's next. It's that grown brother grown sister type of flex. More like soul check, not just collecting checks. Fact, not feelings is what we got on deck. Take the high road, so this here is high tech. Getting to the real, everything that we hitting on. Pull up or sit down, tell me what you sipping on. Reclaiming kinghood, that is what we getting on. Real headlines is what we spitting on. So, hey now, yo, let's have a conversation. Maybe take a sec to talk on what we facing. Only way to change it.
Oh, what happened?
Yeah, some of you ladies,
there we go.
some of you ladies made the statement on here. I asked, would you stay with a man who made significantly less money than you? And a good number of you said no. But what if that man was the man that's ordained for you, but he made significantly less money than you, and you wouldn't keep him? Is that settling because you got because of his profession?
I don't see it that way. I don't see if he makes less money than I do, but he's a good man and he takes care of his home and he looks out for the things that a man is supposed to look out for in a relationship. That's not settling. Right.
Yeah.
And he taking care of home.
What do you guys consider? I mean, maybe you guys answered and I just didn't hear it clearly. What do you guys consider settling?
For me, I think settling there. So I think everyone has their basic needs for them in a relationship. If you have to go against those basic things, then I think you're settling, right? So let's say if I say my basic thing is that you work, right? Like, I'm not saying how much you make or anything like that, but just period, just that you work. And then if I find someone, it's like, okay, this person doesn't work, and I settle for that, then eventually that's going to be a problem because that's something that I believe that people should do, right? Like you're bringing in money some kind of way. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be an issue for us long term. And I know it is because I'm not going to be happy. I'm going to be questioning in the back of my mind, oh, this person's not doing this, we're not doing this. So I think that you have to, so settling, I don't think it goes to a place of, we all have our lists, right? Lists of things that we would like to happen, things that these are things that I would like to have. These are things that I must have. If you go against those things that you must have, and only you know what that list is, only you know what that looks like. But if you go against that, then you just have to be willing to deal with what the reality of that is for the rest of your life, if that's who you choose to marry, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. I want to move on to the next section. We're going to talk about strong, independent Black woman. I do have a question. I want to ask, where'd she go? Miss Demetria. And I want to ask Miss Jasmine. I'll be right back with you, Miss Kendra. This is good. Let me see and put that down. Hello, ladies. Listen. So when there's this new term, I don't know if it's a new term or maybe I'm just old, but I hear a lot of sisters say, what do Black women mean by when they say I'm a whole vibe? What does that mean?
That you the whole package.
What
everything going on for yourself?
Huh?
High vibe. She has high vibrations.
She has high vibrations. What does that mean?
The whole package.
Hold on a second, Miss Jasmine. Something's wrong with your audio. It's like thumping. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Miss Jasmine, do me a favor. Log out and log back in, okay? All right. So now say that again, Mr. Misha. What does it mean by a whole vibe? I don't understand. Is it get you the whole package?
So nowadays, when people say their whole vibe, it's like saying I'm the full package. I got everything going on for myself. I'm the baddest of the baddest. That's what people mean when they say that.
That they the baddest of the baddest.
Yeah.
But you a whole vibe.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for a man when he hears that? I mean, how should we take that?
Well, I can't say how a man's gonna take that when he hear it, but I guess when people say that, they're just letting you know, you come over here, it's gonna be a fun ride.
A fun ride, yeah. A lot of brothers don't mind a fun ride.
It's gonna be.
I'm just saying. I mean, is that all we?
No, it's not all that you should look for. I think when people say that, their whole vibe, you got to really sit down and look at the principles. Like, for me, if I was to say that, I'm going to say maybe I'm a whole vibe because I do whatever I need to do to make sure that my responsibilities are met. I pay all my bills. I take care of myself. I take care of my business. I take care of my family when I need to and things of that nature. I held my responsibilities and I hold them well. So that's what I would say.
So you're a whole vibe if you're being an adult.
That's what a lot of people would classify it to be. You take care of your responsibilities nowadays. That's what we say in our age category. Is it right to say it like that? No, because you're just doing what you're ultimately supposed to do. Be grown.
Yeah, I hear women in their 30s and 40s, and which is my age group, saying that they're a whole vibe. I'm like, I don't even know. What am I supposed to do with that? I don't know what to do with that. And you guys talk about what you. Okay. All right. Let me ask you guys. Let me ask you a question. Yeah, I got a bunch of questions. I'm trying to narrow them down. Let me ask this one. Because over here we talk about the long term, which is we need more families, right? We need more Black people to make families. So what's more important, you think, to Black women today, being a mother or being a wife?
Being a mother.
Ooh. Miss Kendra, why are you playing with that?
Yes.
What's more? I don't know. I got the feedback. What's more important? Being a wife or being a mother?
I say being a wife, but a lot of us are mothers.
Yeah. Hey, Flo.
Hey, TJ.
Shocked that I came to you?
Yes, I am. You know how I think.
So what do you think is more important to a Black woman, being a wife or being a mother?
Being a mother.
Why? Why is being a mother? Why being a mother is more important than being a wife?
Because with men, they can go either way. With being a mother, you can kind of mold some form of family. Whether you mold your kids to create that family, once you have kids, you can create family. With a man, they come and they go. Some of them don't stick around to create that family that we needed. So we molded in our kids to create family.
But it was more important to go out and become a mother than to try to create a legacy with the man first being his wife.
I mean,
because to a lot of people, Flo, that comes across backwards.
Hey, I mean, when times have changed the way it did, you only just go along with time. And sometimes relationship, because of just society and social media, it makes it hard for a relationship to have any type of credibility. So we try to get it out of the kids that we can mold a little bit better, versus a man. It's harder to mold a man, than it is to mold your kids to create that family foundation that we're looking for. You know, if you can't get it in that, okay, we have our kids, so we try to get it out of our kids. If that makes sense, it's not fair, but sometimes you're pushed that angle. You know, for the ones them that can make family with a man that's willing and willing to stick around and create that family life, yes. But a lot of men have so much other agenda between this woman and that woman and whatever the case may be. I'ma just go ahead and make my family to the best of my ability if that's what I want.
Okay, Miss Kendra, same question to you. Why do you think it's more? What's more important, being a wife or being a mother today for Black women? Oh, you got to unmute, Miss Kendra.
I'm sorry, I keep doing that. I think it's equal importance. If you're in a relationship, you have to learn. One thing that we have to learn how to do is to balance, right? And that's balance all areas of our lives. It's balancing your relationship with your husband, with your kids, with God, and with yourself. Because if you don't take the time out even for yourself, then you're not able to be who you need to be for anybody else. So I would say that it's definitely of equal importance.
But what if you're put in a predicament where you have to choose? Which one will you choose?
If you're in a relationship, right? Like, I think the way that I was raised and the way that I did, with my kids, or I was married to their father. So, there was never a point where I said, oh, well, being a wife is more important than being a mother, or being a mother. I'm both. There's not really a place for me to be able to say I have to be one more important than the other. I'm going to do my best to be both. If it came down to it, I guess, if you're if you're in a dangerous situation, right, something like that, I think you have to look at that and consider what you need to do. You definitely shouldn't be in a situation where the man, or if you're in an abusive situation with your husband, that's something you need to get out of, right?
Situations.
Yes.
Different situation is gonna call for different things. But in my mind, when I boil down to it, to create family, who do I need more? I need a man to give me them kids. I can get that, but family, I can mold. I can mold my kids to my best ability. You can try to. Some kids are very,
Let me ask this question, Flo. In a traditional sense, what is a family? What makes up a family?
A man, a woman, and the kids that they.
So how do you call a woman and kids family when the other component is not a part of it?
But what are you to do when you might have a situation where that man just don't want to be in a family? So we create it for ourselves. You don't have to have a man to have family, is what I'm saying. You need him to get that child, but once you have you don't need
a man to have a family. Really?
You need a man to have that to have that child. But once you get that child, family can create anyway. If that man don't stick around, let's just say you go into it thinking, okay, you have this child with this man. You initially wanted a family. You had a child with him. But what if something down the line just don't go accordingly and that man steps away? Is either another man going to step in, or you going to mold what you got to get what you want? Family. My kids can have kids and create family for me. If that man decided he don't want to be there no more. Men don't always.
Why do you have the belief that men, now listen to me all the way through, why do you have the belief that men don't stick around when the majority of the people who leave relationships and marriages are women? Women file their divorces at an 80% clip.
I heard the word to use. It's so many reasons why a man, we will have to leave. Sometimes, yes, we might have to leave. So no matter whether I have to leave or not, I still got to create my family. That don't stop. Now, I might have to leave you because I found out you a cheater, or you are doing too much on the back end, right? And I find that out, and I want to abort ship.
I'm glad you asked that statement about cheating. And we're going to go off a little bit, then I got to come back real quick. So why do our women get so upset in general about cheating when the vast majority of you are sharing baby daddies?
I mean, half of the time when you have kids with somebody, you think you know all the details to it. You really don't. You know, people are deceitful, men, women. You know, some people just come at it very deceitful. Like the lady say, be honest. A lot of people are not honest. They are highly deceitful. So by the time you figure the surf stuff out, you got a whole cheat on your hand, or you got a man that's been high. Okay, back to that. When they say men, certain amount percentage of men are single and this, how many men, like I say, are responsible for a child that they create? A lot of men can walk away and not even have the responsibility for that child. But can a woman walk away? We
Yes.
are tagged. A man
Yes,
can
you are.
just
Yes,
say
you can.
no. A man
Yes, you
can say
can.
that ain't my child,
Yes,
and
you can.
nobody really gonna pay attention. A woman
Yes,
will
you
raise
can.
that child.
You can absolutely walk away, Flo. You decide if a kid gets born or not. A man don't decide that.
Exactly. That's why
You
the
could give your
percentage for
you could
us
give
and
your
the
chi-
percentage
you
for
can
you
give
is
your
different.
child you can give your child up for adoption without even getting the father's consent. And one of the reasons why it's so easy for a man to walk away is because our social injustice system has made it very hard for men to look. If you and I, let's just say you and I, because we know each other, Flo, you and I have a child together. Let's just say something, and the child is in your primary care. You have the primary custodial of the child. Something happens to you. Do you not know that I can't automatically come get my kid, even though that's my kid? I'm gonna go have to I'm gonna have to petition the court to get my kid, either from your relative or from the system. But that's not the case for you.
Today, but I'm talking about the percentage.
That's why it's so easy for men to walk away, is
I'm
because the
talking
structure
about the
is set up for them to walk
we
away.
talk about that men are childless. No, men are only percentage that way because they can walk away without being responsible for that child.
What is the percentage?
So we are tagged automatically with that percentage.
Do you know the percentage of black men that don't have children? Hold on.
I will never know. I don't want to know. I just don't believe that more men are childless than we are. Half of the women on this panel, they don't even have kids. So to me, the percentage can weigh. It can tilt, either way. A man can simply walk away. That ain't my baby. He don't have no responsibility. A woman have to have that child. So
why are women having kids with men who would walk away? Hold on a second.
We don't know they will walk away.
I'm gonna get back to that, Flo. I want to ask this question. Hold on a second, Flo. Do you ladies know the percentage of black men that do not have children?
No, I'm not for sure about the percentage.
So I asked the question: do you believe the majority of black men are single and childless? The vast majority of you said no. We do not believe that the majority of black men are single, and I'm looking through everybody's. Only one person said yes. The vast majority of, do you believe the vast majority of black men are single and childless? Most of you said no, which means that the vast majority of you believe that men have a bunch of kids. Well, here's the little dirty little secret. 54% of black men are single and childless. That means the majority of black men do not have children, have no children walking this planet. So I asked the question about what's the regular old bro? Single, childless, earn enough money to be considered middle class. The average black man earns about $21 an hour. That's about $42,000 a year. The average two-family household income in this country, believe it or not, is only $66,000 a year. And your black man makes almost 60%, a little over 60% of the two-family household. Your black man makes money. And the other thing that we don't talk about when we talk about money and the fact of earning, because $40,000 is not a lot of money. But we don't talk about what that $45,000, what job is attached to that. Most of your police officers, your firefighters, your school teachers, your social workers, I mentioned the Urban League, your community service advocate. These are all jobs that most black men carry, and they all are professional jobs. They all are jobs that are invested in the community, and they're only earn $40,000 a year. There are black women out here who will not take a $45,000 a year person, and that guy is a teacher. and they talk about they want him to level up. How do you expect a teacher to go level up when, if you actually know anything about education, teachers have the most education of any profession out here. They have, for every level that they want to go up, they got to go back and get another degree or another certificate. But their pay don't go up. But they have high quality stuff. There's a brother on YouTube that I call him the YouTube principal. His name is Tyrell Key. I call him the YouTube principal. All he does is talk about this stuff. So the regular old brother, we talk a lot about black men walking away. There's a large percentage of black pookies out here, but according to the CDC, you have to forget now, 33% of black men are married. Most of them with children. According to the CDC, they did a survey of white women, Hispanic women, and Asian women, and they talked about all their different factors of men. And every other race of woman picked a black man as being who would be the best father and the best husband. And the reason why they said that they would be is because they have a sympathy for their women because they were raised by women. So this narrative that the majority of black men, and also that same study released that black men pay their child support at an 80% clip. We also the highest rate of child support payments. Now, so we talk about the men that are walking away, the serial. I did a whole stream last week on that. I don't know if you guys know about that dude, that 7 baby mamas, 7 kids, and he don't want nothing to do with them. He was all over YouTube. Let me see if I got that.
I saw that.
Let me see if I still got that loaded up in here in the system, because I got to take stuff in and out.
Yeah, that's the one who said he didn't want any of the kids, so he didn't feel like he should be responsible.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna play it real quick. Hold on a second. I'm gonna play a little bit of it.
Got 7 kids and 7 baby mamas. Now, for the past few days, I've been going live, telling my story, speaking my truth. And a lot of women having an issue calling me a deadbeat because I tell them I was being irresponsible, not wearing protection. But I always tell these women that I got pregnant that I do not want to be a father to these children. And I offer to pay for the abortion. Majority of times, they'll either take the abortion or they'll take a plan B. But only the...
I wasn't going to play it all. This dude, that dude is actually the minority of men, of black men. But the majority of us get all the smoke for guys like him. And there's no reason why there should have been 7 baby mamas. When that man out of his own mouth admitted, I tell them all. Black men, we're honest. I don't know if our women are listening.
I completely agree with that. I think that when someone tells you what they want and they tell you who they are, listen. If they tell you they don't want to be in a relationship, don't try to make them be in a relationship. Just like, and that's men and women, both sides. Whatever someone tells you, then they're trying to be honest with you. And if you choose not to listen, then that falls back to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree, because I warn them. I warn them.
So
I warned them.
So you warn them up front.
Honestly, no, seriously.
So speaking on that, the other thing I want to get to real quick is submission. I want to ask you ladies, how much does your submission cost?
How much does it cost? That's an interesting question.
How much does your submission cost? How much does it cost? I'm not going to define cost. How much does it cost for you to submit to the man that wants to marry you or wants to be with you?
How much does it cost?
So I can say if I have chosen to be with a man, and if we're going back, so there is a mutual, if I'm going to submit to you as you submit, right? So it's not necessarily to me, but I think there's a balance there. I have no issues submitting. I don't think that there is I don't put a negative connotation to it. I think that there has been something very negative that comes along with it, just because of society today. You know, we look at submission like it's something that is bad, because we're all supposed to be, you know, you do what you want to do when you want to do it, kind of thing. In a relationship, men and women, you know, we both end up working together. So I don't have an issue personally with submission, as long as I think in general I have to see the leadership there.
What do you mean?
But I'm not going to be with you. Let me add that in. I'm not going to be with you in a relationship if I don't feel like you can lead me properly.
And what does that look like for you?
What does leading me look like for me?
Yep.
It means that we're working together. It means that I can rely on that person to give me advice, to take the lead. Like if there's something wrong, I should be able to go. Not even necessarily go. They should just see it. I think a lot of times of course, there's communication there, but I've found that men, they're natural. Like if there's something wrong with the car, right? Let's just take that. There's something wrong with the car. They're going to see that. Are you going to fix it? Do I have to fix it? You know, I mean, if you're my man, fix it. like take it. Cause I don't know, take it and do it. But, yeah, leading, I prefer a man who is stronger and able to lead. I think there's a certain comfort level that comes with that, but there is a fine line, because you can have some people who look at submission, or some men who look at that in a sense of going back to what we were talking about earlier, ownership, and, you know, you do what I told you to do because I told you to do it. And it's like, no, like that's not what it is. But I think it's just a mutual respect.
I see it as you can't tell me what to do if you can't tell me what to do. If you don't know what's going on, how you going to tell me that that's what I should be doing? You're not going to tell me that I got to make something. Okay, just an analogy. I got to make the sandwich this way. If you putting the meat on first, where the heck is the bread at? Like, what are we putting this on? Where's the foundation? If you don't have a foundation for me to lead from, how are you going to tell me what to do?
How do you know what leadership looks like? How do you know it when you see it? Or are you just off rip?
Stable, just being stable in himself.
54% of black men are single, childless, earn enough money to be in the middle class. The regular old brother is single, childless, have enough money to be considered middle class, which means that brother ain't in his mama's basement. Why are you talking to any man in his mama's, aunties, cousins, sisters, baby mama's basement? Why are you doing that when 54% of your brothers are not that?
I think you all see people, no matter what phase we're in life, right, that have hit hard times.
Yep.
And because of that, a woman naturally, I'm not going to say naturally, it depends on where you are in life and who you are. But I think a lot of times we look at a man's potential when we see them from the beginning, right? Like, so if he's already at a certain level, great. But if he's not, then we do see the potential that they have. So a lot of times if they're in a situation, maybe not as favorable financially as we would like them to be at the moment, then we will, you know, sometimes look and say, okay, well, this, you know, we'll try to nurture that person, try to help that person to be, but sometimes you would just find men that just aren't going to, they don't want to work. They have no desire to work, right? Not the majority, as you're saying, but when you face that, yeah, I mean, I'm going to make a statement. You guys react to it how you want. I'm going to make a statement. Okay.
If you are a lady that's a black woman over 25, you cannot afford to deal with a dude based on potential.
Mm.
Because let's keep it a buck. And I don't care about medical science, what can the outliers. Women, you have a different time frame to get your stuff together. If you want a husband and a family, your time frame for that is very short. A man can produce that up until the day they put him in the ground. So you're 25 years old and you're looking at I said earlier today that a lot of you ladies that are 25, 26 years old, your husband is not in your age bracket. I'm not sitting here advocating for like severely old, age gap dating or something like that. But women by nature they want a man to be rooted. They want him to be somewhat established. They want him somewhat mature. You're not getting that with a 26, 24, 25-year-old dude. Guys don't come into their own. Believe it or not, men don't start coming. They don't even start coming into their own until about 30, 31. Where they can even begin the process or the thought process of talking about bringing on a woman, providing a family and everything that goes with that. So why are we looking at our men, especially if you are in my age group, but I'm 40. So if you're looking at my age group, if you're a woman in my age group, ain't no way in hell you should be looking at no potential, because that potential should be there already. Not to say that people don't fall on hard times, not to say that we don't go through ruts and stuff like that. If I hit a snag at the age of 40, do you not know it will not take me a year or 2 years to get up out of it, because I done been down that road already. I done been through 4 or 5 ruts in my 20s, maybe 2 or 3 in my 30s. Ain't no way in the world I'm going to hit at 40, you can see a rut coming. I'm just saying, if you are aware.
Yep. Yeah. I agree that you look at. I see what you're saying. That's a hard statement, right? But I do see what you're saying completely. But it is a hard statement, because you do know people that maybe in different phases of their life that have hit hard times, or especially COVID, right? When that came along. But it's like you said, there are plenty of jobs, there are plenty of ways for people to make money, whether they're doing it, starting their own business or, whatever they're doing. So I do see that as well. So, but it's a hard statement, but I do see what you're saying ultimately.
All right. I'm going to put a pin in that section. I got like 30 more questions and I can't get to them. I want to jump to probably one of our more controversial sections, and I'm only going to ask a couple questions in this section, and then I'm going to get to the big one that I want to reveal. Here's the thing: the package deal. Why is it so important? And I'm talking to the mom. Why is it so important for you to be able to express to a man that we come as a package deal, meaning you and your children? What do you mean that you come as a package deal? What do you mean by that?
There's guys that don't want children, or don't see them as a permanent fixture, in that they may want the woman, but may not want children. So
yeah, we want you. We want you.
So if he doesn't want children, then there's no point in pursuing a relationship.
Can I tell you that it has nothing to do?
You're gonna be there.
Can I tell you this? Our thought process is not necessarily. We don't think about wanting or not wanting children. We think about wanting you.
As a woman that's dedicated to their children, they're a part of our lives.
Part of who lives?
My children are my life. So they're here. They're not going anywhere. They're a permanent fixture in my life.
But why is it so important?
Deal with me, he would deal with them too.
But why would he have to deal with your children?
Because if he's just looking to just be a fling, or is he looking for long term? Because if he's just a fling, then it wouldn't matter. But if he's looking for long term, the children are there.
Okay, and then what is your expectation of him?
The expectation.
Yeah, he wants you. Ain't no man. A man wants you. He wants you.
I wouldn't expect him to treat him as his own, especially if he's someone that doesn't have children, because he wouldn't know how to. He doesn't have children. But to accept that they're there, not to be dismissive with them, but accept that they're there and know that, there's a time when we're all in the house, we're it's family night or whatever, and we're having dinner. I'm taking care of dinner in the kitchen, but the kids is doing whatever in the living room. They arguing up whatever. You could be a moderator. You can mediate the situation and calm the children down, and not just sit there and let the kids argue. I guess to just be the adult that's there.
So, okay. Let me ask
you.
This
Muted,
question.
Maggie.
Maggie, you need to unmute. Are you unmuted? Hold on, let me see. Hold on. There you go. You're unmuted. Hold on, let me see if it's connected. Uh-oh. There we go.
All this time, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
All this time I've been trying to talk. OMG. All right, so I wanted to play devil's advocate because I don't have any kids. So like my standpoint, and when you got to the question of settling, that is my settle. I don't want a man with children, but I will settle for a man with children. And it would be under certain stipulations. He would have to be a good dad, which would in turn take him from being a all the time boyfriend or partner. So for me, when it comes down to me being the step parent, I want children. So for me, it's like I've been in a position where I was the stepmother and couldn't really be fully the stepmother. So I had to kind of play the background or whatever. That's what kind of gets me away from wanting to be with a man with children. So I kind of get what he's saying when it's you pursue the man or to pursue the woman, because I do pursue the man or pursue the. In my case, I date both sexes, so I pursue the man or the woman. But in that case, it's like when that happens, I don't really necessarily know what my role is going to be with that child until I'm in it. And I don't necessarily want to be anybody's mother because I want to be my own child's mother, if that makes sense. Okay. So I kind of get where men come from with stepping in as stepdad or whatever the case is, or the other authority figure. Is a extreme gray area when you get there. You got to have all of these rules is defined, and situations you can't address situations really until they happen, because it's just the most unpredictable situation, honestly. Yep.
Let me ask a quick question on this. Being a stepfather for you ladies, is that a good deal or a bad deal for the guy? Everybody just mute.
Bad.
Everybody go ahead and unmute.
Honestly, to be brutally honest, and I know everybody's gonna say because I don't have kids, but how is it a good deal?
Yeah, I'm asking Miss Kendra, is that a good deal or a bad deal being a stepdad?
My kids are grown.
Oh.
So,
you're lucky.
Yeah. So I do have a goddaughter that I have custody of right now. So I mean, I take care of her, and I have been taking care of her. So it just depends on the person. It's not a bad deal with
why
me.
Why is it not a bad deal?
How could it be? Now, I'll say it would be a bad deal if he does not like kids. If he doesn't like kids, if he doesn't want kids, then yes, bad deal, because he doesn't need to be with anyone who has them. But
well, see, I'm just trying to figure this out. Mm-hmm. So if I'm the stepfather, I have all the responsibility, But what authority do I have over the child? What if the kid is in a situation and he needs to be punished appropriately? I need your permission to do it, and then I got to tangle with his father.
Step parent get the shortest end of the stick.
I don't think so.
So my when I came into my relationship with my husband, I didn't have any kids, right? He had a daughter. So he made it very clear with both the mother and the child what my role was. So there has to be communication. It has to be clear, and the child should be expected to respect the step parent just as a parent.
But where does that come from? Because where does that come from? Because here's the thing, 80% of our Black women have children. The vast majority of Black men don't. I tell any Black man, this goes for me too. If you want a Black woman, you're gonna be somebody's stepdaddy. I mean, there's almost no way around that.
It comes from consistency.
So my thought is it's on the onus, and it's a little bit different when you being a stepmom, because 9 times out of 10, the kids are only with the father as a primary parent only 5% of the time. So it's very different because the children come with the mother. They're coming in that house. And not only is that child coming in that house that you had no part in, but to a degree, that other father is in the house too. So you having a man who has to deal with the fact that another man has influence in his home.
I think the brunt of that goes back to that person, right? Whether it's the father or the mother, it goes back to that person setting those boundaries. And again, you've got to be able to have communication. Now, initially, because we did end up with the daughter staying with us, I never looked at her and did not consider her to be a step, first of all. That's my child. I looked at her, she's a part of him. I married him, so you're my child, right? And I never made her feel any different than that. There was some rocky points with her mother, of course. There was times, when there was rocky, but there was a time when she also came to stay with us. But it's all in communication, and the person who is responsible for the I don't want to say the mediator, but that parent, right? That's communication with both, that is communicating with both sides, has to be willing to take responsibility.
Okay,
and
cool.
If they don't take responsibility, it is going to be a problem, period. Okay,
Right.
which way you look at it. If they're not strong enough to take responsibility in that, there's going to be an issue.
Yeah, we definitely need more time, and we're out of time. Ladies, I have you have no idea how many questions I have here. I have about 70, 75 questions. I'm going to hit you guys with our last subject, and I'm going to ask one question in that subject because I need to get to the Q&A because we've been on here way too long. So here's the question. The subject is child support. Here's the question. Are y'all ready for it?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm giving a dramatic pause for this question. Here's the question. Who deserves child support?
Oh, that's a tough. I'm gonna say it's a tough subject because, like I said, I have 4 children. 3 different fathers, and none of them are on child support. And I said that because I don't feel as though they needed to be. There are people that say they should be. My 2 oldest have the same father. He takes care of his children. They live with him. He wanted his children to live with him. They live with him. He takes care of them. There was no need. Though when we were first together and we had the 2 children, he beat me to the courthouse and put himself on child support. I did not put him on child support. He felt as though he didn't want anyone to say that he wasn't taking care of his children. The money was coming right back into the home. So he felt as though he did what he needed to do. My youngest son's father, it was, if we weren't in a relationship, he wasn't going to take care of his son. I said, okay, I wanted this boy. I went and continued through the pregnancy and had him. I'll take care of him. I have a great support system.
Cool. The question is, who deserves child support?
I think it's the child. The child deserves
the child and whoever is taking care of that child.
Right.
What do you mean?
I think that child support should be put into a trust.
Huh?
I think
hold on a second. Flo, what did you say?
I think the child and whoever is taking care of that child, whoever is dominantly responsible for that child is who gets the child support. That's who needs to get it.
Miss Lisa, who do you think deserves child support?
I agree with her that the child deserves to be supported. And if I'm the custodial parent, I'm the one who's taking care of that child most of the time, then I should receive the support.
Miss Demisha, who do you think deserves child support?
Well, I really can't really lay on it because I don't have kids, but I would say it should go to the child because the child is initially who the child support is getting, you're taking it out for. So it should go toward the child. So whoever the child is staying with, that's who it should support.
Miss Jasmine, in your opinion, who do you think deserves child support? In your opinion, who do you think deserves child support?
Absolutely, the child.
Yeah, y'all keep saying the child, but the child can't spend no money.
Y'all keep saying the child can't spend no money.
The person that's taking care of that child is who is going to spend that money on taking care of that child. You know, who else would it go to? Just the child? The child can't spend it. So it goes to the person who is solely responsible for taking care of that child. Not all women put they baby daddies on child support. If you
Should they?
Look. If you just get a simple medical card, that's all it takes. The system is going to put them on child support. It's not that hard.
It's not something you got to. Miss Kenya, who deserves child support?
Whoever has that child in their care, their custody.
All right. Here's the statement I got about that. You know, once upon a time in this country, there was no such thing as child support.
Sure wasn't.
If you had a kid without the benefit of being married, it was up to you and your family to pay for that child. Child support became a thing because it was either after war. I wish I would have brought this stuff up. It was either after World War I, World War II. White men were coming back from the war and they were leaving their family. They were leaving their wives. So the system put a benefit in place for wives. If the husbands, because during that time, women weren't in the workforce at all. Like 85% of women were stay-at-home mothers. So these men were coming back from the war and they were leaving their wives for whatever reason. And so the system said, we can't have all these good white women out here with these derelict children, and they created the child support system for wives. So why do our women, and I don't want to pick on our women tonight too much, but why do our women who have children at an 80% clip without being married, why do you deserve the benefits that wives are supposed to get? You're not a wife.
Why is it called child support? Isn't it for the kids?
But
So whether we wives or not, still the kids have to be
keep it a buck, Flo. Keep it a buck. Most of this money ain't going to no kid. It's going to her pocketbook or her new man's pocket. Let's keep it a buck.
That's not. You can't say that because all women don't do that. That's judgmental.
Nothing is an all or nothing.
Some of us actually take care of our kids.
Nothing is an all or nothing sum. It's not all or nothing. There's no such thing as all or nothing.
Ones that actually take care of their kids. So
I'm asking you, why would women who are not wives get benefit that wives got?
You ask the system that ain't got nothing to do with us.
Yes, it do got something to do with you.
Look, we just getting what they say we can get.
If y'all wasn't down there with your hand out,
No, we got a medical card, so they just issue it. See, that's just what it is. If you get a medical card from the system, somebody got to pay for that, according to what they tell me. So because we have the kids, and
you should pay for it.
No,
you have the kids.
So what do daddy should do? So what daddy should do? Just what? Just get away scot-free? Would be irresponsible.
You should have became a wife.
You should have pulled out. Then you wouldn't have that issue. As a man, men always want to get slapped on the wrist for being irresponsible.
Yeah, Drake did pull out, and she wouldn't got the condom anyway.
But since you didn't, we have child support.
Well, so they say.
The system set that up that way. So we're not supposed to go get it because what?
Nope.
No, yes, we do. We need help to go get it, so we get it.
If you need help, you should have married a more productive guy if you needed help.
That a lot of y'all come off to be productive. That doesn't mean that's what it is. Like I said, you got so many men who comes out in suit and tie. They go to work. They look very. But when they go home, you don't know how they treat their wives because you're not in that household.
No, absolutely not. But what I do know is that the majority of our black men's image gets trashed by our women, because our women actually, if you look at the numbers, I know we always get into a fight about the numbers. The majority of our women are having babies with the dumpster fires of our community. They're not having it with the more productive versions of our men. But like I said, nobody
wants to have babies with dumpster fires, first of all.
But y'all do.
It's an insultive remark. Nobody wants to. Half of the time you have babies
this dude,
and deceitfully.
A lot of us was hoodwinked and swindled.
You wasn't no hoodwink, you was swindled. Like that brother in that video.
I was very much hoodwinked.
So what happened when you men have babies with dumpster fire women? Then what?
But see,
men
here's
do
the
same thing.
We're not running down to the
women. It's the same women that you men have kids with.
We're not leaning on the system like y'all are. Hold on a second.
Because we are women. Y'all are men. Y'all are men. Y'all supposed to stand on y'all 2 feet.
Hey, you're a grown up. You're supposed to stand on your 2 feet too. Hold on a second,
Flo. We have luggage and baggage that we have to dangle along with us, so the help is needed.
Flo, hold on a second. I gotta recognize somebody. Flo, I gotta recognize somebody first. Okay, with the $10 super chat, y'all go check her out. Bessie, Miss Sean with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for stopping by. We gotta hit.
I'm a king, cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it.